Previously, we examined the quiet chaos of Minecraft's tiniest paintings, kebabs, rabbits, sunsets with severe emotional baggage, but that was part 1. Now things escalate. This is part 2, where the paintings grow bolder, the fire spreads freely and skeletons start flirting with floral arrangements. In this section of the gallery you'll witness an ancient bust engulfed in flames, a disembodied hand gifting fire like it's handing out curses, a void so metaphysical it's technically a health hazard, and the only painting in the entire game that can actually kill you. If you thought pixel art was safe, think again. This is no longer art appreciation. This is survival, with framing options. Let us continue, carefully, and try not to make direct eye contact with the wither. Graham, just a man, alone, facing left. This is King Graham, former protagonist, part-time adventurer, full-time hat enthusiast. You may remember him from the King's Quest series, or if you're young, you may not remember him at all, which makes this painting even more tragic. Here he stands, pixelated, proud, and permanently mid-stride. Where is he going? Well, nowhere. He is frozen in the exact moment between action and irrelevance. There is no background, only black. A void so pure it might charge rent. He's not fighting, not questing, not rescuing anything. He is simply posed. The way one might be posed if they've been mistakenly added to an art exhibit while looking for the bathroom. His arms jut confidently, his nose abstract but firm, his colours heroic in tone, confused in placement. And that's the magic of Graham. He isn't doing anything, he's simply being, in full medieval cosplay, inside a frame, in your house. A quiet reminder that every legend, given enough time, becomes decor. This is Wanderer, a tribute to Friedrich's masterpiece, but more importantly, a visual documentation of a man who has climbed to the peak of all creation, only to realise he's forgotten why he came up here in the first place. He stands alone, cloaked, boots firmly planted on something. He does not face us because what he is facing is clearly worse. Fog. Not clouds, not mist, just pure, unflavoured fog. Thick enough to conceal shame, regret, and possibly the end portal. And what do we get, the viewer? His back, his posture, his silent declaration. I have reached the top, and now I shall be deeply introspective about it. This is not the hero's journey. This is the hero's pause menu. He is not moving forward, he is marinating in his own consequence. Everything about this painting says, I've come too far to turn back, and not enough to be useful. Some call it a masterpiece of solitude. I call it the visual embodiment of logging onto a survival server, realising you're 9,000 blocks away from spawn, and refusing to admit you're lost. Now we ask the oldest question of the pixelated planes. Is this a bucking horse, or a triumphant hurrah? The figure rides, boldly, vaguely, without GPS, clad in a patchwork of heroic colours. They charge into the golden unknown, like someone fleeing a bad trade deal. The prairie stretches beneath them, flat, sun-bleached and suspiciously lacking in detail, the kind of terrain that either inspires poetry or heatstroke. And the horse? Mid-motion, legs lifted, eyes unreadable. It could be leaping for glory, or attempting to eject the rider mid-mission and reclaim its solo career. There's no saddlebag, no campfire, no visible snack, just speed, dust and commitment. This isn't a journey, it's a mood. Some say it captures the spirit of freedom, others say it's the moment before disaster. I say it's what happens when you press forward without checking the map, hoping the universe rewards vague confidence. Whether a bucking horse or a triumphant hurrah, one thing's for certain, they're going fast, and they've absolutely forgotten why. So let's take a moment, straighten up your spine, re-ink your quill, because what comes next will not comfort you, it will confront you, with cultural references, pixelated fire hazards, and at least one classical philosopher trapped in the nether. We go on because art demands it, and because there is no exit sign. And here we have Bust, a title so elegant, so restrained, and a painting that is anything but. At the centre, A noble sculpture, marble, stoic, unmoved, possibly Marcus Aurelius, or possibly Steve after 6 hours in spectator mode. Around him, fire. Not metaphorical, not symbolic, just actual, unapologetic, blocky fire. It licks the frame like it's trying to join the conversation. And it's not clear who lit it, but it's very clear no one's putting it out. The bust himself, calm, cold. He doesn't blink, he doesn't flinch, because flinching would suggest he didn't expect this. No, he's seen things. He knows exactly how this ends. This is what happens when ancient wisdom meets someone with too much netherrack and an attitude problem. This is match. Not lighting the way, not hope in the darkness, just match. One syllable, one idea, infinite concern. Observe a disembodied hand mid-hover, pinching fire like it's a delicate canapé. It reaches down, not with fear, not with urgency, but with a kind of calm confidence reserved for gods, arsonists, or someone lighting a birthday cake for a cursed child. Below it, a strange, cubic vessel, a table, a shrine, an IKEA prototype abandoned for being too flammable. The flame, of course, is pixel perfect, blocky, bold, entirely unbothered by physics. And the hand, the hand, unattached, undefined, a floating wrist of authority handing out combustion like it's going out of style. Some interpret this as a metaphor, creation, enlightenment, the beginning of something beautiful. Others, myself included, see it for what it really is, the exact moment before a small room becomes very exciting. Ah yes, skull and roses. Not death and rebirth, not the fragility of life. Like someone tried to name a file, but got emotional halfway through. Here we have a skeleton. It's not lunging, it's not warning, it's not screaming, it's just there, staring into the void, like it's hosting an art lecture on regret. And beside it, a single rose, red, proud, and wildly inappropriate for the occasion. This isn't a painting, this is a romantic crisis in low resolution. It's the moment someone realises their date brought poetry, and they brought mortality. The skull rendered in cool blues practically sighs. It's seen love, it's seen loss. It's probably seen someone try to bone meal a cactus and pretend it worked. The rose tries to brighten the mood but fails. Not because it's weak, because the skull is unflinchable. This skeleton has done the inner work. It has journaled. Some say this piece reflects on the passage of time. Others call it goth, but make it gentle. I say it's perfect for your reading nook, if your reading nook also hosts seances. We're on what appears to be a theatre set. There's lighting, there are props, there's narrative tension, and there, looming above it all, a spider with glowing red eyes and no clear union membership. Why is it there? What is its motivation? No one knows, not even the spider. And then there's Graham, times 2. One on the left, brightly lit like a confused lead actor, one on the right, mid-action, possibly regretting all of this. This is a painting of contradictions, comedy and terror, set design and survival mechanics. It's like someone staged Waiting for Godot inside a command block. It's confusing, it's dangerous, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Let us pause because, as every responsible wizard knows, staring at too much art, especially Minecraft art, can be hazardous to the mind and aggressively disorientating to the eyeballs. You've just beheld duplicated protagonists, theatrical spiders, philosophical skeletons, and more flames than can reasonably be explained by one match. This is not sustainable, so here we pause, not for rest but for recalibration. Please perform the following. Blink repeatedly, with purpose. Rotate your shoulders like you've just survived an interpretive dance. Whisper, "It's only pixels," 3 times to the nearest bookshelf. Hydrate, emotionally, if not physically. This interlude is for your protection, because what's coming next isn't decorative. It's existentially structural. It's void. And you'll want your wits about you when the fire starts praying back. And now Void. A painting that dares to ask, What if light and dark weren't metaphors, but just very poor neighbours? We begin on the left, a dreamy, pastoral realm, clouds, a sun, a sort of divine lettuce field, all very Sunday school, but make it cuboid. And then abruptly, void. A gaping swathe of black and unapologetic in its absence. At its edge, a fire. Of course there's a fire. The abyss is always flammable. In the centre, trapped between these two metaphysical spreadsheets, an angel. White-robed, mid-prayer, wings extended in what can only be described as holy hesitation. They're not ascending, they're not descending, they're hovering, spiritually conflicted, like a librarian deciding whether to intervene in a very loud theological debate. Is this a moment of divine transcendence, or a mid-level loading screen for souls? The angels' expression is unknowable, but their posture says, please don't ask me to pick a side, I've only just got here. This is void. A prayer, a paradox, a surprisingly good conversation starter at awkward dinner parties. And here we have wither. Not a metaphor, not a homage, not even a pun, just a summoning diagram in a gilded frame. Because why stop at art when you can hang an active threat on your wall? We see the soul sand lovingly stacked, the wither skulls smugly perched, and that grass block, green, lush, unaware that it's about to become history. This painting is not peaceful. It is the exact moment before someone screams, "Why is everything exploding?" Each head bears the same expression, stoic, cold, mildly disappointed, like 3 judges at a baking competition you were never invited to. There is no background detail, no sky, no fire, no pleading villagers. Just this, a calm, focused depiction of pending doom. Some say it's a warning, others a celebration. I say it's what happens when a game gets tired of subtlety and decides to summon evil through interior design. 2 warriors, no shoes, no context, just raw digital adrenaline and a dangerous amount of side-eye. One in white, fists raised, one in blue, equally committed. Neither is blinking, neither is backing down, and crucially, neither has a visible nose. The background, a kind of blur of a sunset drama. The ground, tilted because gravity respects neither honour nor terrain generation. There's no crowd, no tournament bracket, no prize at the end of this conflict, just the timeless struggle between I'm right, no, I'm right. This is more than a painting, it's a freeze frame of competitive overconfidence. The moment before a winner is crowned or somebody accidentally kicks himself off a cliff. Some call it a homage, some call it retro violence, I call it Tuesday on the server when PvP is enabled. This is Fighters. The fists may be tiny, but the drama, absolutely enormous. And there it is, part 2 completed. You've made it through Pixelated Philosophy, Unexplained Fire, martial arts with no witnesses, and an angel on the verge of a divine HR complaint. You've stared into a void, and the void politely blinked back. You've survived Wither, which is frankly more than I can say for most structures. And now you can rest, because in part 3 we go bigger. We enter the realm of the 4x4 monstrosities, exploding skulls, arcade chaos, flowers, so many flowers. So if your mind hasn't melted and your retinas haven't resigned, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, otherwise you'll miss the painting that looks like Donkey Kong rebranded as a modern tragedy, and do comment below. What's your favourite so far? Which one unsettled you the most? And if you have to live inside one, which would you absolutely not survive? Until next time, stay pixelated, stay curious. Ta-ta for now.